on BBC Radio Norfolk and BBC Radio Suffolk. Sophie Little here. This is the hour where we take a theme and we explore it. And to kick off our discussion on this week's theme of luck, we're pondering the luck of health and our relationship with that in both a mental and physical capacity. When it comes to mental health, is bad mental health unlucky or is it inherited? And how much of our surroundings impact it? Well, here to help me muse through all of that is President of the University of East Anglia's Educate, Tory Selwyn. Hi, Tory.
Hi, Sophie. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. And first things first, congratulations, because in the last couple of days, you have passed your final exams and you are now a qualified doctor.
Yes, I know. Thank you so much. It's quite surreal, but a lot of years of hard work and all of that is finally going to come together and, hopefully start working as a doctor in July or August.
How do you celebrate an accomplishment like that?
Well, I've been spending time with family and friends and going out and just enjoying relaxing as well, because there was a lot of months of exams and revision, so it's nice to just have a little bit of a break and catch up on rest and sleep and self-care, talking about mental health and all that as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for spending tonight with us, or part of it at least anyway, and congratulations. So I would like, first of all, if you could just explain what Educate is as well.
Yes, of course. So Educate is a student-led organisation that started off at University of East Anglia about 10 years ago, and it was formed by a group of medical students with the aim of basically stamping out the stigma that surrounds mental health, mainly within schools. So the main thing that Educate was created to do was to run little workshops with secondary school students, and that's how we kind of started off. And then over the years, we've kind of expanded to include events on campus with students, working more widely with kind of other societies at UEA, but also around the country, doing things like research, campaigning, getting involved in all kinds of things, speakers, events. And now we've got about 150 members. We've won a couple of national awards, one that was just recently as well. So we've done some incredible things. My committee has just been incredible. They have such passion for talking about mental health and breaking the stigma, and I think that's kind of what makes the society and makes the Educate family, is how open and kind and supportive everyone is of each other.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you for telling us all about it. And I wonder then, tonight we're taking this theme of luck. What are your thoughts on luck when it comes to mental health? What pops into your head first?
So it's an interesting topic. When I first heard that was what we were going to talk about, because I couldn't really see a link at first, and then kind of had a little thought and ponder about it. And I feel like mental health, what we kind of say at Educate, and what I also kind of learned at medical school, is mental health is kind of an amalgamation of our kind of biological factors, our psychological factors, and our social factors. So all of the different kind of compartments and things that make up who we are all will impact on our mental health, and also not to forget that our physical health and mental health are really intertwined. So when we're talking about things like biological factors, we're talking about things kind of like genetics. So, potentially some mental health conditions could have a genetic component to it. Thinking about other conditions that we might be facing. Also, people that have one mental health condition are sometimes more likely to have a comorbid other mental health condition. Thinking about kind of socially, thinking about our families and our upbringing. So I guess there is kind of some luck in, how we're raised and how we're brought up, and what we kind of face when we're growing up, and also what our parents face growing up, and what we're kind of exposed to as we are in those kind of earlier years. I think that does shape how we deal with things and cope with things. So in that sense, there might be some elements of luck in kind of what you're born into and how you're raised. But obviously that's not everything as well. I mean, also the things that we go through just generally in life, like big life events, like divorce or changing of job, or having a child or getting married. Like all of these things can kind of cause more stress, and it's just kind of how people have coping strategies to deal with them. And the luck is, I guess, how you've learned your positive or negative coping strategies through the years, I guess, and kind of who you're exposed to, what your role models are going through.
When we think, I mean, you touched on it, but when you think about mental and physical health, do you think people still view them quite separately?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even in healthcare, it is quite kind of separated from a lot of like other medical physical care. So like you'll have an NHS trust hospital that will mostly have like your physical health conditions, and then there might be a psychiatry ward within that hospital, but usually it's kind of placed somewhere else, and kind of different systems involved in the care and everything. So I feel like it is still seen as quite separate, but it's just they're so intertwined. Like we still just don't really understand how the body works, and especially the brain. It's such an interesting organ, and we're still kind of learning more about it. And especially in like field of mental health, we're just learning more and more every day. So I think as things do develop with research, the more we're going to learn about that interlink and how important it really is. People that have physical conditions are more likely to have mental health conditions because, I guess, like the struggles that they have to go through and difficulties with things. And like we saw with COVID over the past couple of years, people that had physical health conditions, their mental health conditions were exacerbated by different things like not being able to get appointments, or not being able to get medications, or not being able to get to the shops, or, you know, loneliness and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely, they are very much intertwined, but they are still seen as separate, and it would be interesting to kind of see where that goes.
When we were talking about the kind of luck in the coping mechanisms that people with bad mental health might employ, like you said, either positive or negative, how much do you think that plays into what I'm trying to get at with that, I guess, is with the sort of positive and negative coping strategies, do you see the same outcome still? Do you know what I mean? So if you did use negative coping strategies with mental health, does it still have a positive outcome if it works for you?
So I guess when we're talking about like negative coping strategies, they're kind of things that we see as maybe not being as ideal to help with our mental health. So it could be things like turning to kind of alcohol or drugs, or I don't know, kind of wallowing in kind of things that are going on. Not so positive things would be kind of like, you know, dealing with looking at the emotions that you're feeling like head on, like speaking to people around you, doing the things that make you feel calm or happy, the things that you know help you with your mental health. And that's kind of something that everyone has their own different coping strategies that work best for them, but exploring that and seeing what helps you to feel better when you're having a bad day, I think those are things that we can kind of learn ourselves. And if we do have a mental health condition, they can help us to live easier with that mental health condition.
You've given me so much to think about, Tory, and I'm sure everybody listening as well. And you really covered all bases as well when you were telling me how you think about this. It's brilliant to hear your thoughts on the theme tonight, tied in with mental health. Tell me what you've got coming up in the near future. So you've qualified. Do you get a bit of time off now before you start your work as a doctor?
So I've got a little bit of time where I'm going to be working on a psychiatry ward in Norwich for a little bit, but mainly I'm doing a lot of work for Educate at the moment. So we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary in May. 10 years we've been running, which is amazing. So we're putting a little work into that. We're having a party on campus, which everyone is invited to, and we've got a lot of other exciting things going on with Educate. I know a few people are presenting at an international congress soon, and yeah, it's Mental Health Awareness Week coming up in May as well. So lots to be going on. But yeah, I will be taking some time for myself as well.
I can imagine. And where can people find more about Educate online?
So we've got all the different social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram at Educate UEA, and Facebook it's Educate UEA as well, and on Twitter it's UEA Educate. And we've also got a blog that you can find, The Educator, you can just search by Google. And yeah, feel free to get in touch with us. We love getting involved in anything mental health related, all campaigns, and yeah, love to hear your thoughts.
Tory Selwyn, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations again on qualifying as a doctor, and great to have you on the show and to hear about Educate. Right, let's have a track from Sister Nancy, and then we will continue having a think about this theme tonight, luck.